We are almost at the halfway mark of this year and we have plenty to cheer about. Here are the top 3 positive news stories of the first half of June 2021. Number 3. Alzheimer's patient asks wife to marry him after falling in love for a second time. Love is wonderful the second time around, but it can be all the more special if you don't remember the first time. For Peter Marshall, who suffers from early onset Alzheimer's, forgetting his past has meant a bittersweet chance to fall in love with his wife Lisa and ask her to marry him all over again. Peter and Lisa have been married for 12 years. At 56, his illness has progressed rapidly, but no matter what turn his condition takes, Lisa remains steadfastly by his side because even if he can't remember her name, he knows that he loves her and that she loves him. Last winter, as the Connecticut couple sat on the couch watching a televised wedding, Peter had an inspiration. Not realizing they were already married, he proposed, and a surprised Lisa happily accepted. And so a date was set. Vendors who knew Lisa's event planner daughter donated their services to make the day perfect. Throughout the touching ceremony, Peter beamed at his bride, while sometimes through tears, Lisa smiled back as she made her vows. "It was so perfect. I couldn't have dreamt for a better day. It was so magical," Lisa said. "I can't remember seeing him so happy for so long. I'm the luckiest girl in the world. I've got to do it twice." Though the ceremony took place only a few months ago, Peter has no recollection of the event. But what he's not forgotten is the woman who is never going to leave him. The woman he loves, who loves him back, and when hearts are truly connected, sometimes remembering love can be more than enough. Number 2. Judge gave drug dealer a second chance. 16 years later, he swears him in as a lawyer. The difference between finding justice and following the letter of the law sometimes takes a simple act of compassion. Where others might have seen an incorrigible offender, one judge saw promise, and following a hunch, he acted on his intuition. At first glance, Edward Martel, a 27-year-old high school dropout with an extensive arrest record, might not have seemed a prime candidate for rehabilitation. But when he was facing a 20-year drug conviction, instead of meting out the maximum sentence, presiding judge Bruce Morrow gave Martel probation and a challenge. Morrow told Martel the next time he stepped into the courtroom, he expected him to have made something out of himself. He said, "I challenge you to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company instead of being out here selling drugs." Fast forward 16 years, and Martel is standing in front of Judge Morrow again, only this time he's been sworn in as an attorney after passing the Michigan State Bar. While the outcome is sweet, Martel's path wasn't easy or assured. Since there was a very real possibility that his prior criminal record might scuttle his future plans, as he was completing his GED, Martel's guidance counselors discouraged him from pursuing a legal career. After obtaining his associate's degree, Martel went on to score scholarships for both his undergraduate studies and law school. He then clerked at the District of Columbia's Federal Public Defender's Office and eventually was hired by the Perkins Law Group as a researcher and writer. When it came time to take the bar exam, Martel had plenty of supporters in his corner, including Judge Morrow, with whom he'd kept touch over the years. With the help of his law firm mentors, Martel submitted a 1200-plus page application detailing the steps he'd taken to turn his life around. His approval took only 15 minutes. The seeds of a dream he'd planted had finally come to fruition. Martel still has a job with the Perkins Group, only now he'll be a practicing attorney rather than a researcher. And all because one man was willing to take a chance and made a challenge Martel couldn't walk away from. Number 1. The female conservationists are rewilding the Cambodian coast, thus saving them from natural calamities. When storms whip up the waves, sending white horses charging to the shore, mangrove forests are often the first line of defense for coastal communities in the tropics. And with the climate crisis making the weather even more volatile, people living in these coastal communities are waking up to the benefits of mangrove forests, which also provide a habitat for fish and other marine species. Kampot is one of the provinces worst affected by mangrove clearance in Cambodia. Kampot and neighboring Kep have seen the mangrove forest shrink by 62% in the last 30 years, according to ActionAid. The charity is working with women in those communities and elsewhere to help them adapt to climate change. The loss of mangrove forests along with the unfolding climate crisis has left coastal communities in Kampot and Kep exposed to storm surges. The campaign She is the Answer supports communities to become more resilient by training women to take up climate adaptive livelihoods. The work is underpinned by research that has shown female empowerment to be one of the most effective solutions at our disposal in tackling global heating. One of the programs that ActionAid has launched is a mangrove rewilding project. The charity has been working with communities in Kampot to plant 100,000 mangrove saplings along the shore, a target that has already been surpassed. The charity has trained around 50 women across the country, equipping them with climate science knowledge and supporting them to play an active role in decision making. As well as planting mangroves, the women have been involved in setting up a network of climate adaptive floating gardens as well as floating schools where future generations are taught about climate resilience. Multiply the positivity by sharing these sweet stories with your friends on social media.